Hello everyone and welcome you all to the first chapter of Blender Essential Tutorial. So now as this is the chapter number 1, here in this particular chapter I'll be giving you guys an introduction to what Blender is, how you will be able to use Blender and what are the usage. I'll be telling you guys about the interface or how you will be able to download Blender in your computer. So we'll be learning about all of that here in detail in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So here in this introductory chapter, we will be learning the importance of Blender application in the modern workflows. Okay. So in this modern world, why do we use the Blender application? Okay. So we'll be looking into that here in detail. So let's see. Okay. So here you guys can see they do have an introduction. So let's read that out. In today's modern workflows, Blender has become an indispensable tool for 3D modeling, animation, and rendering. Okay, so it is basically used to create 3D modeling and different kind of animation, and it is also used for rendering the basic file. Okay, and here it's an open source nature and powerful features make it favorite among professionals and enthusiasts alike. Okay, so it actually do have a lot of powerful features for creating 3D models. Okay, so here they do have a lot of open source. Okay, and here it is mostly used among the professionals and also different kind of enthusiasts, those who love to make 3D models, those who love to do 3D animation. Okay, so this was the introduction of what the Blender application is, and now here you guys can see what are all of this, what are its key features. Okay, so if you come here, so they actually do have a versatile 3D modeling model. Okay, so here Blender basically offers a wide range of tools for creating intricate 3D models from simple geometric shapes to complex organic forms. Okay, so here you guys can see that it actually helps you create some basic 3D model to and complex organic model as well. Okay, so basically its sculpting and the texturing capabilities provide the artist with freedom to bring their imagination to life. Okay, so this particular application is made in such a way that it do give the artist or the user of this application the freedom to bring their imagination to life. Suppose you are thinking about a scenario, so the same scenario you can basically put out in your page or in your PC in front of your eyes using this particular application by doing the 3D modeling and the whole animation. Okay, so now here you guys can see why we should use this one more often. Okay, so here you guys can see they do have efficient animation tools. Okay, so with its intuitive timeline and powerful rigging tools, Blender empowers animators to breathe life into their creations. Okay, so here you will be able to do such nice customization, suppose of a character or of a particular scenario. Okay, it will just put on life into their creation. Okay, so you will be able to sculpt in such a way, you will be able to move on the texture in such a way that it will look quite stunning. Okay, so its support for keyframe animation and physics simulations enable seamless movement and interaction. Okay, so over here you guys can see using the keyframe animation and physics simulations, it actually enables the seamless movement and the interaction of the 3D models which you will create over here. Okay, so now here you will also get realistic rendering capabilities. Okay, so here you guys can see Blender's advanced rendering engine and cycles basically delivers stunning visual quality with realistic lighting and materials. Okay, so here you guys will be more familiar with the cycles, what is a cycle is, and how the rendering engine works once we start here the first chapter of Blender. Okay, so here you guys can also see its integrated composing and post-processing tools ensure the final output meets professional standards. Okay, so here once you are doing the final file, it will ensure that the final output will meet the professional standards which is required for creating 3D animation. And now here you guys can see it also do have a collaborative workflow. Okay, so here in collaborative environment, Blender facilitates seamless integration with other software and also supports industry standard file formats. Okay, so if there are other 3D models which you do have from before of other software, or you have downloaded which you want to do some modifications over here, you guys can come to Blender, take your 3D file and basically work with other software as well. Suppose you guys can integrate both of those software and work in Blender as well. Okay, and it's basically compatible with version control system and makes it ideal for team-based projects. Okay, suppose you did get a project and in a team you guys are 10 of you. Okay, so you guys are working from home, so you guys can collaborate all together and actually start working on the team-based project in Blender as well. Okay, so now here you guys can see under Blender you do have expanding horizons. So as technology evolves, Blender actually continues to adapt and innovate. Okay, so till the time Blender have come, you guys can see it's doing renovation and it's actually adapting to the newer generation of picture modeling, 3D animation and stuff as well, expanding its capabilities to encompass virtual reality, augmented reality, and interactive experiences. Okay, so it actually provides you with the virtual reality. You guys can also see the interactive experience which all they do provide using their tools in the modeling. Okay, so its community driven development ensures a bright future for the application. Okay, so from here basically people are actually learning a lot and are able to evolve with the trend. So because of that, they do think that this particular site or this particular application do have a bright future in the upcoming days. So lastly, over here, now I do have the conclusion of what Blender is. So in conclusion, Blender's impact on modern workflows cannot be overstated. Its versatility, efficiency, and collaborative features to make an essential tool for 3D artists, animators, and designers shaping the future of digital content creation. Okay, so nowadays if you go to any websites, okay, you guys will be able to see that they do have different kind of 3D icons. Okay, so using Blender you will be able to make those 3D icons. You will be able to make some um, virtual movie clips from here as well. Okay, and these are basically made for artists, animators, and designers who will actually shape the future of digital content creation. Okay, so this was what Blender is. Now we will see that who all does use the Blender and why you should start using Blender. So here you guys can see now the first thing what will come into your mind is what all you can do with Blender. Okay, so I've already given you guys a small introduction of what Blender is, but now let's see point wise that what all you will be able to do with Blender. So the first thing, you will be able to create virtual world movies. Okay, suppose there are movies, okay, different kind of movies, like if you take the 1917, or there are different Marvel or DC movies from where they do use this Blender to create virtual world movies or those particular scenes. Okay, and also you guys will be able to create different 3D avatars. Okay, so using Blender you will be able to create some stunning 3D avatars over here as well, which will move, which will just animate by itself using the Blender application. Okay, so now here this is actually completely free application. You don't have to pay any fees to use this particular application, and over the years it has updated quite significantly. Okay, so in the upcoming years also we do hope that the Blender keeps on upgrading itself to the standard of 3D animation in the trend. Okay, so that was about how it is an updated software and how you will be able to use this stunning software very without paying any money into their subscription. Okay, and here it also helps you to create high quality 3D models. Okay, So you will be able to relate those models to the reality. Okay, so it actually helps you create high quality 3D models. And here you guys can see it also helps to make animation and physical 3D models like 3D prints. Okay, so here I have already told you, like if you want to create any animation like for video games or for a movie or for any kind of small clip, okay, you guys can make animation and stuff. But here also you will be able to use Blender for physical 3D models, like if you're making a 3D print of any book or of any kind of a sculpture. Okay, you guys can also do the 3D modeling, 3D print over here as well. So now let's move on that why as an individual you should use the Blender. Okay, so now here you guys can see you don't have to be an expert to make cool things over here in this particular platform, okay? But I'm not telling that it will be quite easy. So first, if you don't have any idea at all about 3D modeling or how to create 3D icons, maybe you are familiar with some other software like graphic designing. But here, to adapt yourself with this workspace and the main work of Blender, you need some time, okay? But here you don't have to be an expert to make cool things, okay? And also you don't have to know how to draw, okay? So it's not required that if you want to work in Blender you have to be a good artist, okay? But here without knowing art as well, you guys can make some stunning uh, 3D animation, okay? And also you should have a little patience on learning the usage of Blender first, okay? So once you learn what Blender is, how it actually works, you do have a little experience of how to use the whole application, understood about the workspaces, the usage of all of the options available, then you will be able to make some stunning designs in the Blender application. So first, let's go and let's see how you will be able to download Blender from your search engine. So here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the home page of my Google search engine. And from the search bar, if you come here and if you write the Blender and if you search, you will get all these options right over here. And the first one which pops up, which is blender.org. Okay, if you come here and if you click right over here on top, here you guys can see that you do have the option to download the latest Blender. Okay, so here you guys can actually download it from here. And also if you do want to download for Mac or OS, you guys can come here and you guys can uh, download the things from here as well. Okay, so this one is for the Windows and this one is for the Mac OS or the Apple users, and also anyone who are using Linux. Okay, so from here basically you guys can download their application, which I already did here in my PC. And also they don't take any charges, but always you guys can support them from here. Okay, you guys can come here and you guys can just support and also donate in their particular application. Okay, so if you're getting benefited using this application, you guys can come here and also you guys can actually develop fund for this application. You guys can come here and donate one time or in monthly, each and every time you guys can donate into their account. So now let's go back and I will show you guys what is the first page once you have downloaded Blender, and now how you will start your work in the Blender application. So this is the type of page which will basically appear on your screen once you first time open your Blender. Okay, so here you guys can see there is a small window, and over here they do have different options. So the first option is new file, and here you do have the manual of getting started. If you do want to open up any 3D file which you have already worked on before, you guys can come here and click on open a Blender file, and the shortcut key for that is Ctrl plus O from your keyboard if you're a Windows user, and if you're a Mac user you just need to click on Command plus O from your keyboard. And suppose if you have worked before here in this file and you forgot to save that particular animation or that 3D work, you guys can come here and click on recover last session option, and the last project which you did will be saved or recovered here, and you guys can save it later as well. Okay, so this was about open and recover last session options. Now let's look at this new file and getting started option. So now from here, the new file option, I can come here and I can create a general file, or if I want to do 2D animation, or if I do want to do the sculpting, if I'm working with any VFX, I can come here and select that particular file. Okay, if you do need any kind of guidance, you guys can come here into the getting started option. If you click on manual, okay, it will take you to a preset website in the web browser to show you how the Blender actually works, where you will get a better idea about what it is. Okay, but as here you don't have to do anything, you just can click outside, and here you do have the workspace. Okay, but with the first look, once you look here in this screen for the first time, you guys might be thinking, okay, this one looks quite tough. Okay, because there are different options. Okay, here you do have one box, here you do have another box, here you do have the toolbar, here you do have the work screen, and also underneath you do have the timeline over here as well. But here, if you do want to change it, okay, the preferences, you guys can come here onto the edit option from the menu bar on top, and here go to the preferences option. So from here, if you want to actually increase the resolution of this display, you guys can come here and increase the resolution or the scaling of this particular workspace from here. Okay, and once you're done, you guys can come here and also put on different kind of add-ons. Okay, if you want to take out different kind of add-ons, you guys can come here and can put different kind of add-ons here as well. But for now, I will just keep it the way it is right now, and I will just cancel this thing. So now once this workspace is actually understood, and I have told you guys and give you guys an introduction about what Blender is, how to actually come here to this workspace, how to download this application. In next class, we'll learn how you will be able to navigate inside the application as well. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter, where we'll be learning more about the Blender application and 3D modeling. So see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.